Lagos was a city that never slept, its streets pulsed with the energy of dreams, some rising to fortune, others crumbling under the weight of desperation. Among those chasing wealth was Emeka Ibe, a struggling businessman whose debts grew faster than his profits. Every morning, Emeka stared at his tiny electronics shop in Alaba Market, praying for customers who never came. His landlord threatened eviction, his wife whispered complaints at night, and his friends mocked his misfortune. One evening, after another fruitless day, his childhood friend Okon visited him with an offer that would change his life forever. "Emeka, how long will you suffer?" Okon asked, his gold chains glistening under the shop's dim light. "I can introduce you to something that will wipe away your struggles overnight." Emeka hesitated. He had heard whispers of Okon's sudden wealth, the exotic cars, the mansion in Lekki, the expensive clothes, but he had never dared to ask how. "What do I have to do?" Emeka finally asked. Okon grinned. "Nothing difficult, just a simple ritual. Trust me, my brother, wealth is not by hard work anymore. It's by wisdom." I knew deep down that this was dangerous. But desperation is a powerful force, it silences reason. That night, Okon took me to a mansion, far from the city's noise. The air inside was thick with incense, and a hooded man sat on a throne-like chair. He spoke in riddles, his voice crawling into my skin like spiders. "Do you seek wealth without end?" "Yes." "Do you have the heart to pay the price?" I swallowed hard. "What is the price?" The hooded man chuckled. "Patience is a virtue, but greed is stronger. You must bring me something pure, something untouched by greed. Then you will receive wealth beyond your imagination," Okon whispered in my ear. "They need a sacrifice, but not human. Just something innocent, like a white dove or a newborn goat." I hesitated. That didn't sound too bad. If all it took was an animal, then maybe this wasn't so evil after all. I agreed. Days passed and Emeka's wealth exploded like wildfire. His shop tripled in size. Customers flooded in, begging to buy from him. He moved his family to a mansion and bought cars that roared through the streets of Lagos. But greed is never satisfied. The priest summoned Emeka again. "The spirits are pleased, but your wealth must be maintained. The first sacrifice was a seed. Now the harvest demands more." Emeka's hands trembled. He had been warned, but he thought money would protect him. "What do they want?" he asked. "The innocent," the priest said simply. This time it was not an animal. It was a child. My mind was a battlefield. I told myself I could refuse, that I had enough money. But once the spirits give, they never stop taking. My son Chidi was only 7. He trusted me. I watched him sleep that night, clutching his stuffed toy. I imagined the knife in my hands, the silent scream that would never escape his lips. I couldn't do it. The next day I ran to Okon. "We have to stop this. There has to be another way." Okon's face darkened. "You think this is a game? You think you can just take their gifts and walk away?" I saw it then, the horror behind his wealth. His own sister had vanished years ago. People whispered, but no one dared to ask. "They will take what you love, Emeka," Okon said. "If you don't pay, they will collect it themselves." Terror gripped me. That night, Chidi fell mysteriously ill. The doctors found nothing wrong, yet he wasted away before my eyes. I begged the spirits. I cried, but it was too late. Emeka's wealth turned to dust. His bank accounts drained overnight. His mansion burned mysteriously, and his wife left, cursing his name. One evening, a desperate, ragged Emeka wandered through Lagos, muttering to himself. People avoided him, whispering that madness had claimed the once powerful man. Then he vanished. Some say they saw a shadow drag him into the darkness, screaming. Others claimed he was found in the marketplace, his body twisted into a grotesque shape, his eyes still open in endless horror. But no one could say for sure. Moral lesson: greed and impatience are traps with no escape. Wealth gained through shortcuts demands a price too great to bear. Some doors once opened can never be closed.